Hey guys, I'm back again with another video, really locked. So yeah, let's get into it. This is a extension removal, detox, and extension replacement video. So let's start off. I was removing her extensions. I realized that y'all really can't see the process that I did, but so what I did was I figured out where her extension started out, and I cut where the braid was to cut some of the layer that was wrapped around the braid from over it to remove the extension, and then I combed the rest off. As I was combing it out, I made sure there was at least 2 inches, so when I go back in to replace the extensions, that there's enough room to replace the extensions. These extensions she had was done by someone else. They were done improperly, and I'm really not big on the braiding method only because it makes the lock heavy and also bulky. So I rather just crochet it in like an instant lock. So yes, we're removing these, getting rid of them. From what I could tell, they had synthetic fibers in them that was also making them heavy and hold a smell. So yeah, we removed that out and took them down. So right now I'm still like removing them. Yes. Also, I see people in the comments have been asking how can I be contacted. All of my information will be added at the bottom in the description, along with my phone number that I can be reached at. I am no longer located in Salon 1602. I am located in BU Hair Suites and Lounges, and I have my own private suite. So yes, this part I am getting a detox ready. So a detox is when you remove all the buildup and the dirt out of a lock. So what do? You get the water as hot as you can get it as possible, and you fill the sink up with hot water to where you know that person's hair will be able to sit in that water and detox out. Then you also add apple cider vinegar and baking soda. I also always add a little coconut oil to that way I won't be removing natural oils out of the hair. If I'm removing any, I'm also replacing them. So yes, I went in, I added the apple cider vinegar, I got her hair in there, and this time I usually don't put the baking soda on the person's hair, but the reason why I did it with hers is because her hair was a little bit shorter and the detox needed to be done also on her roots. Her hair really needed it really bad. She hasn't had a retwist. I want to say in about 4 to 3 months she hasn't had one, so that's the last time her hair has been washed. So as I'm doing that, I'm making sure that the hair is getting the most detox it can get, is soaked and moist. Right here, there's the removal. She set for 25 minutes in the water, and then I removed the detox. Right here, I'm taking hot water, hot as possible, and I'm trying to make sure I don't get it on her scalp at all. I am rinsing all of the dirt that I can rinse out of the locks before I go back and do another quick detox. Reason why I do one more detox is because her hair needed really bad. So at this point, I am doing the apple cider vinegar and the baking soda again on her hair, but this time I'm not letting it soak. That way it won't remove too much of natural buildup out of her hair. So yeah, as we're doing that, I'm making sure it's getting everywhere through each strand, and make sure each strand has all of the inappropriate dirt removed. And then I go back through again with the hot water and remove all of that dirt. And then we're going to wash her. So when we get into the washing process, what you always want to make sure is that first the hair is heavily saturated with water before you even go in and add shampoo. That is number one. Then you also want to make sure that the person's hair is, when you go in and add the soap, you want to add a layer of soap in the front, a layer of soap in the middle, and a layer of soap in the back. That way it's worked in. And as you're shampooing, the tip of your fingertips should always massage the scalp. It should never be your fingernails. You never want to scratch anyone's scalp. You want to massage the scalp with your fingertips and remove dirt with your fingertips. So I did her washing, I think about 3 times to make sure all of any dirt and all of any product and all of everything is removed out of her hair. And as we're going through, making sure it's rinsed all the way out. I'm sorry about my accent. I'm from Texas, so I'm kind of country, so a lot of things are going to sound a little off. And as we're doing that, I'm making sure everything is really washed out. So once we got through with that part, I always like to blow dry the hair. I typically tend to not like to work with wet hair when I'm adding extensions, and as I'm blow drying her, let y'all know that I did add oil to her scalp and made sure her scalp was very heavily oiled before I started blow drying it. My product of choice is Loc Boost. Loc Boost by Edge Boost. It's a biotin pomade. I've switched from the Loc Twist and Braid. I still use it here and there, but Loc Boost doesn't leave any buildup, doesn't turn the hair white, and I kind of like it better. Right here, I am showing y'all how I go about my parting. So I always add product before I part, and I use a precision comb. As I'm going through, I make sure that the part is as straight as it could possibly be. You always want to make sure you're being as neat as possible no matter what. I didn't start her locks, but we're still going to make sure they're neat. And I'm going to show y'all my retwist method before I add the extensions in. So right here, yes, I go in, I add my clips to show and make sure it's good. I take my comb, and I do more of a comb twist method with palm roll and a twist down. So I take the remaining leftover hair after I do my twist with the comb method, and I take the frizzy hair and I wrap it down a lock. That way it fits into one. So right here is where I add the extension. I'm more of the person who likes to add loose hair than pre-made extensions. So when I go in and add the extension, I go an inch above where I left the hair out, so that way I'm blending it into the lock. And as I'm going, I'm rolling with my middle finger and my thumb as I'm going down and adding the extension with the crochet needle. I use a 0.75 needle because that's the one I like best. It's a 3-prong. I'm going to show this process 3 times. As I'm going down, I make sure I constantly roll my finger. So as you can tell, if you're looking at the top of her lock at the root, you can see that it's getting tighter. And that's because I'm rolling as I'm going down to make sure that the lock is round and perfectly rounded off. At the ends, I get to the end and I keep adding to the desired length. And once I get to the end, I round it off. So as far as this lock goes, I'm going based off her size of her lock. Usually, if it's a brand new lock, I try to make the extension just about half an inch bigger than their hair because their hair still has to swell. But right here, her locks are mature locks, so it doesn't matter if they the extension size and the lock size has to be the same size because her locks are mature locks. She's been having her extensions in for a full year. So at this point, her locks are mature locks. So as you can see, as when I went in through here, I went an inch above the hair I left out. That way I can make sure it's blended into her lock. Also, once I get to the part that's left out, I am rolling it in between my fingers to make sure it blends well. That way you can't tell the difference between the lock and the extension. The reason why I don't like to use pre-made extensions is because pre-made extensions tend to be a little bit heavier than if you make them yourself. And when I make them myself, they give them the chance to build up their own buildup like natural locks instead of the machine made ones. They are trying to make them feel less hollow as possible so they don't come apart. But if you do them yourself and you know exactly how to crochet, they shouldn't come back apart at all. So for styling, as I'm getting down this lock, let me explain what she chose for styling. She chose 2-strand twist, which is a favorite with extensions or any locks that need repair. 2-strand twist allows the lock to be held together and gives it time to repair or come together. So I normally recommend it when I'm doing extensions. That way their hair gets a chance to lock together. So when I got to the end, I rounded it off, took my finger and held the end part up to lock it down. You kind of can't see it because of my angle of my camera, which I didn't realize at the time. With 2-strand twist, I take my hand and I go right over left, and I am rolling my fingers as I am going. So typically I am rolling the lock between my pointer, my middle finger, and my thumb as I'm going down the lock to make sure that the twist look like a rope more than just a twist. That way it has a tight twist look to it. So I'm going to show the process of adding the extension one more time right here. So what I did was, yes, go above the lock and then I worked my way down. If you can tell, I hold the hand with the crochet needle just like a pencil. That way it's secured, locked, and gripped. You have to find a needle that's perfect for you. I've tried about 15 different ones until I found this one, and this one is actually my favorite needle. So as I'm going down, I make sure, like, if you see me working my way back up, I'm making sure the lock has a good consistency. You want to feel the lock having a good thickness to it. So kind of you want to make sure it's stiff. If the locks aren't stiff when you finish, that means it doesn't have a good consistency. The way you stop that stiffness is you will go in and add mousse and water. I forgot to add that process in because it was kind of a lengthy day. Taking extensions out and detoxing and replacing extensions kind of takes time. At the end of the day, we both were tired. It was kind of a long day. So here's the finished product. Yes, I used mousse. I used Retwist lock mousse, and I used water to spray her down once I finished. And here you are. Look at that neatness. Look at that finished product. Wow, what a transformation. Thank you for viewing, and thank you for watching. Why haven't you been royally locked yet? Thanks.